Yes.
And anywhere from 6 to 12 times a month. And part of the reason that he needs to do this is that it doesn't just cut down on the possibility of prostate cancer. It also cuts down on the possibility of heart attack.
Yes.
You see, because what happens? What happens when a man has an orgasm? Just like you're talking about, the release of all these chemicals. Some of those chemicals that are released are called endorphins.
Yes.
And they stimulate the body.
Yes.
They help the body heal. And so it's like when men, and it's important. That's why, again, the relationship, which we'll get to in a little bit when we talk about the laws, that's where a woman is very important. Just like you say, it charges that man up.
Yep.
Because it causes him to release certain chemicals and certain reactions that is a part of the healing process that not only keeps him young, but keeps him alive.
Yep. It's very important that men have the right type of sex, and he has the right type of woman to have sex with, and that a woman know how to suck that man dick right and massage that man dick the way he need. It's a therapy. And when I'm saying dick massage, we're going to do another show about that if you want to. Also, I would like for you to be a part of that show because it's also a spiritual release. It's even important when we have baby boys that every day, not just because I would do that to my son, and people that have a sick mind will think there is something unnatural about this, but it's important that you bathe that baby, you massage his whole body, you massage his head all the way down to his feet, and you actually massage his penis. You actually show him how to hold his penis and actually tell him what it is and make him feel very comfortable with his body and calling it exactly what it is. And, I've seen many times, I don't know if you saw when little boys are little boys will touch their penis and pull it and stretch it, and they act like it look like it's a piece of damn bubble gum. So they stretch it all out. They about to break the motherfucker off and twist it in a knot and shit. And they be having fun just pulling all on their dick and stretching it all out and shit. And you be like, why the boy pulling this dick? Then they piss all outside, and they just comfortable being out in the public just with their dick just holding it. Then as men start getting older, after a certain period of the day, a certain time, they adjust it and grip it or grip their nut.
Mm-hmm.
Women think that that's a negative thing and that, he's so nasty, he's so vulgar, he's just trying to keep just being obsessed with his dick, trying to give me some. A lot of times, really, that's a spiritual sexual thing. Men subconsciously might not even know, but it's a grounding. It's actually a grounding for a man to grab his testicles, to grab his penis. That is a very important part of a man. It's like one of the focal points. It has been the focus in a negative, destructive way. But what I'm saying is men have to learn to have a positive relationship with their dick and their nuts, not to give it to everybody because we don't want that kind of man, but to realize that it is a sacred divining wand. It's an antenna, and the woman that he is with needs to know that, understand that, and understand that because a man needs his penis and his testicles massaged. It doesn't mean you got to have sexual intercourse every time that you do it, but that takes that man into another zone, especially if he's breathing properly, if she's breathing properly. If she's helping him to actually you can actually open a man's chakras up and balance his chakras by massaging his dick and his nuts. And when you have what were you going to say?
We're talking about the systems, right?
Yes.
And we know that there's a respiratory system, and we know that is a system, right?
Yes.
The same thing, reproductive system. The penis and the testicles, all of that is part of a whole system called a reproductive system. It's some crazy white people that have taken it and made it separated, as if the whole rest of the body can be in sync, but the reproductive system somehow just supposed to sit over there to the side, except for when you're having sex. That's crazy. So you're exactly right. That just like a woman, if she's going to take care of her man in terms of maybe if she gives him a massage of his back, that's to do what? That's to cause him to feel better. Well, why not his penis? Why not? Just like if you massage a person's feet, it's to cause them to feel better. Why not the penis? And the same thing goes for a woman. Of course, they say the same thing about women. If a woman is touching herself, that's supposed to be nasty. But that's knowing what is there.
That's what I was saying, too, about the man learning the woman's body, and there should be, it has to be to a point where we're not looking at this And that's what I want to be clear about. We're not taught that sex and the sex organs are spiritual. So a lot of people cannot control themselves, and their mind stays in the lower level, so they cannot control their orgasm. They cannot. The first thing you should do if you're becoming aroused is to learn to breathe deeply through your nose and actually pause or shift your attention to outside of the sex act so that you can stay balanced and not ejaculate or have an orgasm too fast. Because the sex organs, that can also be a very powerful spiritual tool to help raise your vibration, and it's good that you have a partner that is also your friend, that does not judge you or look down on you for wanting to be touched and wanting to feel good, because it's not just about the sex act itself. It is about shifting the energy and raising the consciousness and the vibration of the being by touching and massaging them. But there has to be an intention. There has to be a thought that we're going to do this spiritual exercise together by massaging our sex organs and releasing any pain or shame that's locked into our body memory and our physical tissue surrounding sex. A lot of us can't have positive sexual relationships with men because we have issues with being fat, we have issues with having scars or surgery or being skinny or not liking our own body image, and a lot of that is tied to rapes or child molestations or abandonment or our mothers or fathers. See, that goes back into the law of attraction stuff, because you have a lot of self-hatred and low self-esteem, and you have stood in the mirror or refused to look in the mirror and deal with a lot of your self-hatred issues, and who is the source of that, who or what was the impetus of that. We have to start looking at the who, what, when, where, and why when we deal with sex. Because we have a lot of unresolved sexual stuff that's held in our vagina, held in our penis and in our testicles because we were molested and abandoned by somebody that we trusted and respected as children, and we didn't resolve that. You might have a 25 or 30-year-old vagina, but inside of the vagina is still the essence of the little girl that was never vindicated and that was never healed. So you carry that little girl and that wounded little boy with you for the rest of your life, and it starts to come out as sexual dysfunction or sexual deviancy, or even retreating and becoming celibate in your sexual relationships. So when you're doing spiritual sexual exercises that are not geared towards always achieving an orgasm or an ejaculation, you have to deal with somebody that is healthy, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, and sexually, or is willing to allow that person that they're with to assist them in their healing by opening themselves up and getting rid of the shame and the pain, as well as getting other counseling if you need counseling from somebody else. But a sex partner can help heal a person that has been abused and abandoned, or a sex partner can help actually take that person lower and fuck that person up more if the person's already damaged and that person only wants to use them for sexual gratification or for their own gain or some form of manipulation. So it's important when you do the exercise that I'm talking about, you have to first do a cleansing ritual. It is very important, and I'll probably have to do another show about that also, because I'm trying to, it's so much to tell them, and I can't get it all out in this one show. But there are steps to that. But one thing to do, if you're going to do a G-spot massage on a woman and you learn her G-spot, you're going to do a vagina massage on her. The thing to do, the total outcome at the beginning should not be about her having an orgasm. And the woman has to learn to control herself, because I know a lot of times shit get to feeling good, that tongue hitting them spots and hitting that clit and finger going in and out the pussy, might be hitting that asshole at the same time, or that dick going around in there is feeling good, and you really want to release and let go. But I'm telling you, that's the time the man needs to slow down, or he needs to take his mouth off, he needs to take his fingers out, he needs to stop massaging her, and she needs to focus, not on the feeling and the orgasm, but she needs to focus on learning to control her breathing and raise her vibration. You see what I'm saying? Also, it's like it's not about the sex act itself, because see, the sex act and the spirit is so tied into each other, you can't separate them. And that's what white folks and religion has told us to do. You can't separate them. So I'm trying to get you to actually wake up to the fact that your sex organs are spiritual organs. That's why we are so low and we are lost in the physical realm. You know, we are so deep and we don't even realize it, that we're not even supposed to grow old or die. They teach us we're supposed to die and you're supposed to grow old, and you're not. But they hid that wisdom from you, and they hid the higher laws of the higher knowledge that your ancestors gave you and that you have encoded in your DNA. So now we are living a mundane, ordinary life, and we think that the shit is normal. And what I'm trying to tell you is the shit is fucked up and it's abnormal.